Hello everyone, welcome along to another video, and today we're going to be having a look at acoustic blues soloing. Now in the first video, which I just played through there just to remind you, we went over the chords, so we went over this. And we also covered these little chords that you can play over the top. Alright, so check out that first video, I'll put a link up there. If you haven't seen it, you can go and watch it. So I also soloed over that video, so today I'm going to show you that solo and how I played it, and I'll try and explain what I did as well. Alright, so here is the first lick. Alright, so let me show you the lick first and I'll explain kind of what I was thinking there. So you're going to bend the 9th fret on the high E to the 12th fret on the high E. That's a big bend on the acoustic guitar, but I have faith in you, you can do it. So you bend it up, release it down and pull off to 7 on the high E. And then you pull off again. So you do that total of 3 times that pull off from 9 to 7, alright? And then slide from 6 into 7 on the high E and finish on that note on the 9th fret. Alright, so at the beginning here I do a little rake. The rake is where you mute the strings apart from the last one you're hitting. You can also slide into that note if you want to make it sound a bit cooler. I didn't do that on the tape, I don't think, on the little song there. Now, what was I thinking here? I'm trying to get out of the pentatonic box. So I'm taking this C sharp note, we're in the key of E, and E is the 6th of the scale, and that makes it that kind of major pentatonic sound. But then I'm bending it to an E note, which is the key of the song. So this bit here is kind of coming from shape number 4 of the pentatonic scale. So that's how I came up with that first lick. The last note I finish on is an E note, which is, you know, the key of the song, so it's going to sound great. So that lick again. Alright. Now the next thing I do is this. Now this idea, I've just copied exactly what I've done, ripped it off and put it an octave lower. So I'm this is a C sharp note. I'm bending to this note. And then I let down, pull off to the 4th fret on the G. Then I play 4 on the D, slide back to 2 on the D, which guess what happens to be an E note. So really it's the kind of same idea really, but I'm just playing in a different area of the neck to get out of that pentatonic box. Alright, then we have this lick. By the way, that was the 2 licks for E. Now you're finished with the E and we're going to the chord of A7. Now I'll play this. So this is a hammer on from 3 to 4 on the low A, and then slide 1 into 2 of the D. So you're doing that a total of 3 times, but on the last time the phrasing is slightly different. Let me play it for you again so you can just hear that. Alright. And then the last thing I do is this, I slide into the A note. We're on an A chord, so I slide from 3 to 5 on the A. So that phrase again. Alright, then I do this. So you're starting on 3 on the low E. Okay, so hammer on 1 to 2 pull off to 1, pull off to nothing. And then 1, pull off to nothing, 2 on the A, pull off to nothing, bend 3 on the low E, slightly sharp, and then an E, so you've got this. Alright, so I'm thinking there of the blues scale, E blues scale. Alright, by the way, that previous lick, that note, this is a C, this is a C sharp, which is the major third, so if I, of A. So if I play an A7 chord, you might remember we did that in the rhythm part. Here, it's a C sharp, there's a C, so it's kind of like, it's exactly the same, but I'm just playing it down there again for a bit of kind of different tonality, you might say, you know, to keep away from the position. So alright, so then we have so this lick, so this is 9, 8, 7, 6, but you play it like that, you're pulling off, and then once you've done that, you're playing 9, 8, 7, 6, and then 9, 8, 7, so it's a bit confusing it, and then pick that 6 on the D, and then I play 9, 8, 7, 6, but kind of like in a triplet feel. And I hit that bend on the low E 3rd fret twice. And I'll finish with that. Open E, 3rd fret, pull off. 3rd fret on the B. High E, 3rd fret, pull off to the open B, and then slide from 3 to 5. Alright, this lick on the B is really coming from the B7, the B7 arpeggio. That note there that I finish on is a D sharp, which is in, if you look at a B7 chord, we've got a D sharp there, but I finish it on an octave below, if that makes sense. So what I'm really kind of doing in this solo is I'm following the changes. So I'm not really playing E minor pentatonic all the way through. I use it sometimes. In fact, I don't really use it at all. I'm mixing up 3 things. So I'm mixing the major pentatonic scale, the blues scale, and some arpeggios too. And that starts to make it sound, you know, really a bit more interesting. Because if you use one thing, it sounds like one thing, you know. Just think of it a bit like speaking. You wouldn't speak monotonally all the time. It would be very boring. So you're, you know, putting light and shade in the way you speak and levels in the way you speak. Same with music, you know, you're trying to do the same thing. So let me play through the whole solo. From the beginning, I'll do it slowly. So here we go. think I changed the phrasing on that lick there, but just have a listen to the beginning of the, that's the thing when you kind of improvise a bit, you change it each time, which is annoying when you come to teach it, but have a listen to the track at the beginning of this. So yeah, when you're soloing, try and vary things up a bit. Don't always play the pentatonic scale if you can. If you can mix it up a bit, especially with the blues, it sounds really good if you're mixing arpeggios with the blues scale. You know, just vary it and try and play in different areas of the neck too, because you know, if I played E minor pentatonic all the way through, you know, it would work and it would sound all right, but you're trying to make it sound a bit more like music, and you only can do that when you start, you know, adding a combination of things together. So I hope that helps. Do let me know if you've got any questions on that, because you know when I started guitar, I knew one thing, one scale, and if I saw anyone playing, you know, somewhere else, I thought, what are they doing? You know, how do they know what to do? Well, it's just experience is what it is. You learn one thing, you incorporate it into your playing, add the next thing, you know. So I hope that helps with your acoustic blues soloing. Be careful of those bends. They're a bit tricky, especially this one. That's a big stretch, that one, a minor third on the G string as well. It's a bit tricky, but anyway, you can do it. Anyway, thanks very much. See you in the next video, and have some fun with that.